In this video, I'm going to share with you my subjective experience with psychological marijuana withdrawal, along with side effects from daily usage of this substance. For those new to my channel, I am a recovery advocate. I have 5 years of sobriety. My primary purpose is to further educate the public with my subjective experience and give addicts and their loved ones hope that sobriety is possible. So I'll share with you some of the symptoms of my marijuana withdrawal, and then I'll get into the side effects of daily usage when I was experimenting with this substance. So the number one thing that rings to me is the anxiety. There's a lot of butterflies in your stomach wanting to crawl out of your own skin, and there's nothing going on. It's almost like, I remember the first day of work, I would feel anxious the night before, but there was a reason to be anxious. With marijuana withdrawal, I'd be sitting in my room in just a normal day and feel like I'm about to start a new job in an hour. Like I would just feel this anxiety for no reason. And that was one of the most irritating parts. It made me want to crawl out of my own skin. Like I just felt uncomfortable existing. And at the same time, I had a lot of depression. The depression was feelings of inadequacy, no self-worth, realizing I'm a mess up, realizing that I've wasted so much time and money on this substance. You know, how the hell am I going to crawl myself out of this? And it was like a combination, because the anxiety would make the depression worse, vice versa. It's almost like they fueled each other. And the depression led to lack of motivation. So I wouldn't want to do anything at all. And that's the worst thing, because I would know deep down that if I could get up and muster the energy to go to a meeting, to clean my room, to go outside, to go to the gym, I would feel better. But all I wanted to do was just lay around, which is the worst thing to do. But it's really hard when you have a chemical imbalance in your brain to get up and start functioning in society and doing things. There was also really bad insomnia. I wasn't able to sleep hardly at all. When I was using 1 gram to 2 grams throughout the day and I went through withdrawal, I wouldn't be able to sleep at all the first night. The second night, I would sleep periodically, and it'd be hyper vivid dreams that were creepy and terrifying, and I'd wake up in complete sweat. And that's the worst part about a marijuana withdrawal for me, is the mornings. The mornings were the worst. It would kind of get better towards the evenings. But whenever you wake up, you just feel like this, it's really hard to describe. It almost feels like just emptiness, like gross. It feels extremely gross and empty and very gnarly, and you would do anything to escape it. But the only thing to escape it is marijuana, which is what kept me in this addiction for so long. Is that, I was afraid of going through the psychological withdrawal, which for me lasted a week to 2 weeks. So like 4 days in, I'd be like, I can't handle this, I'm out. And my mouth would be salivating for the cannabis, and I would go and grab it and munch down on the devil's lettuce like a hungry guinea pig, and then I would feel better, almost as if the withdrawal never happened. Irritability, a big one. I would get really angry about really stupid shit. Like I was really whiny whenever I was coming off of marijuana. And it would be like I would be looking for something to get mad about, and the anxiety would feel that rage, or the depression would feel that anger. And it was something so small and insignificant that later on I'd look back on it and be like, why did I get so mad about that? Like I understand being upset, but it's like I gave the person a silent treatment, I darted out the door, I called them names, all because of a little thing. And that's because marijuana made me extremely irritable. Like I was almost looking for things to get angry at. And yeah, that's it. That's like my experience of marijuana withdrawal. And it is very intense, and it's very unpleasant, and it kept me in my addiction for a long time. If you are going through that, I will say it's temporary. For me, it lasted about a week to 10 days, 2 weeks for some people it's longer. But whenever that withdrawal went away, I felt like a new me. I felt naturally calm. My memory returned. Like in withdrawal, my memory was shot. I'd be talking to somebody about something very simple. Mid-sentence, I'd forget what I was talking about. Well, whenever I quit marijuana and 2 weeks goes by, I have my short-term memory back. I'm able to get a good night's sleep. I'm able to eat. And I just feel calm, overwhelmed. Like all the anxiety is gone, all the depression's gone, and I'm just me, and I feel natural. Whenever I would come off. So I'd tell anybody who's going through marijuana withdrawal to focus on that you will feel better. Even though these emotions feel real, they're not. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain, and you have a great new life to look forward to. And it's very difficult, but I believe in you, and you can do this. You can get out of it. Now, the side effects of daily marijuana usage for me were mainly short-term memory loss, which was a big problem, especially if you know, you work with people a lot or you're out doing things, the short-term memory is annoying because again, you would say something in mid-sentence, you'd forget what you're saying, or you would try to recall something very recent and you wouldn't be able to recall it. Or there was some important task you were supposed to do and you forgot it because your short-term memory is shot. That was really irritating. Lack of motivation. Just looking back now, 5 years sober compared to when I smoked pot every day. When I smoked pot every day, it was more about doing what I had to do. There was no like extracurricular activities. There was no, let's try something new today. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to a new meeting. Let's go out and find a new hobby. Let's hang out with friends. It was more of like, let's go to work. Let's go home. Let's smoke pot and watch Netflix, you know. And there was only motivation for things I had to do. And those were the main things that I noticed. Also, antisocial behavior. I wasn't very social when I was using marijuana every day. And I think part of it was fear that I would forget what I'm talking about. And that would cause social awkwardness. So I avoided social interaction when I was using cannabis on a regular basis, unless it was with somebody else who was using cannabis, because then their memory is shot too. So anyways, I hope this was educational. Hope you guys learned some from this video. If you feel free to reach out to me for support on shamelessprotocol.com. I get like 100 text messages a day. It's hard to keep up with them all. I'm only human. So shamelessprotocol.com, I'm active on. That's my own website. Shameless plug. And I love you guys. And thank you for tuning in. Peace out.